Hello, YouTubers. How y'all doing, man? Ladies and gentlemen. Well, gentlemen and ladies. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to express myself. I'm out here looking for houses, and I just got inspired to speak, so I'm going to go ahead and speak. Um, Much of what I'm going to say about is, having true faith. I realized something. A lot of life is just a decision. It's just making a decision to do something. Now, once you hear something to be true, like it's true. Like we all have moments where things ring that is true. Like, for example, I've been blessed to be around people with knowledge. I've always sought knowledge out, and I've been around people who have not only talked about what they can do, but did it spiritually. Teach me how to relax, teach me how to calm down, teach me how to tap into my subconscious mind, teach me all these different things, right? So, human nature is this. Okay, when somebody shows you what they can do, right? And then you see it, the next, it's up to you to do the next. Okay, so for example, I've always wanted to sing, for a long time, and I took lessons, and I stopped, and I started, and I quit, and I would always say, man, my voice, I don't like it. It just don't sound right. I don't feel like I'm doing nothing. I don't feel like I'm getting it. And the thing about that is, I realized that it's not about how something sounds. It's not about what you're going to do. It's the joy you get from doing the things that you say you like. It's the joy. You know why I say it's a joy? Because if you like doing something, then you should do it and let life just take you where it want to take. Now, I'm not looking to be on TV. I'm not looking to do anything. I just like singing, and I think singing can make people happy. Even if I just start singing with somebody in my family, I just like the joy of music and singing, and that's it. Now, whatever the creator want to do, he do what he want to do. But the thing I had to say that made me change around is I was thinking about that the other day. And, I'm very clean in my thought and clear. And I was thinking, I've listened to a lot of music. I said, this music is horrible, man. I mean, people talk about whatever they want, sing about whatever. And then my voice said, well, that's not you. What I got to do with you? You're not about that. You got good energy. A lot of people got good energy. That's just industry stuff. You can sing whatever you want to sing. What that got to do with you? You bring something better. So then all of a sudden I said, you know what? I made a decision. And I know me. When I make those decisions, I made a decision to say, I don't care what happens. I'm just going to sing every day for an hour. And also, I'm just going to enjoy the process of singing. And I prayed to God. I said, God, you know what? I really don't know, and I really can't make anything happen. You got to do it. But what I can do, what I'm in control of, is my practice and my belief. You can't make me not believe, and you can't make me not act. Have faith. Now, whatever God want to do with me and whatever He want to do, I'm good with it because I realize it doesn't matter. If you do everything you know to do, the best you can do, and you constantly trying to break barriers, and you going to the next level, and you pushing yourself, then that's all you can do. You can't do anything else because that's out of your hands. You can't make a crooked road straight. Only God can do it. You can't make a stick turn into a snake. Only God can do it. You can only facilitate what God allows you to facilitate. And that's what I learned. And I learned that's how faith and that's how the impossible happens. You know what? You think about this. There has been people who they said they're going to be paralyzed for life. That you ain't going to walk again. And some of these people didn't accept what they said. They did the exercises that they told them just to rehabilitate, and they took it a step further because they were so intent on getting it. They dug into another level where God blessed them. So that's the creative part of it, because that's how new solutions are made when you dig deeper on the things that you have. Now, you don't really know what's going to happen with it, but there has been cases, so you know the possibility exists in you to do the impossible. Now, the thing that I like to say, that the biggest thing that I had to learn is, not being resistant. I'm not a resistant person. People resist stuff. I've been around people, both of y'all can see that something, and you say it, and the person out of resistance, no, I don't believe it. Just being resistant. You can't grow being resistant. The one prerequisite of learning and being a student is you got to let resistance go. You got to act, and you got to be willing to have an open mind and see when you need to change, when you need to be persistent, when you need to keep going. Because otherwise, being resistant, it's just like driving with a brake on. You're driving with a brake on. You're driving, you're moving, but you're going against the grain when it don't even have to be all that. And I'm learning this, it's really an act of faith to come out here and live life, because only how you're going to know something unless you act. If you sit down and somebody tell you something and say, hey man, if you meditate for 15 minutes a day, you can be more relaxed if you do it over time. Now, I don't believe that. How do you know? How do you know? Especially if you were a person that has high anxiety, or you have high, whatever it is, you sitting up there saying, I don't believe it, I don't believe. So, first of all, it's faith that you got to have. And you got to have faith in the unknown, but you got to be a student. You got to listen. You got to know when something's off and when something's on. And you will know. That's like making tacos. If you make tacos every day or twice a week, you'll start knowing when it's off. Like, I don't see. Now, when you first start, you just might think it's nasty. But as you start seasoning, you'll know what season to put in there, because you done it so much. And as you do, you get. See, you don't get nothing by sitting and watching or arguing. I call it the sideline syndrome. I sit there and I watch the football game. Like I watched the Chicago game. I'm not really a Bear fan. I don't judge the Bears, because I know it's different when you actually on the field and when you're on the sideline. I hear people talking about, man, what I would have done is, man, instead of Trubisky throwing a little pass over there, he should have threw it to Robinson, who was cutting out. Yeah, that's different when you're watching it from an observer and you're not in it. When game time comes and you're playing, you're a player. So it's different when you're a player. So instead of being sideliners, get into action in your life. And kept saying what somebody should have done. Like, I see people that have relationships, right? And here go a person that don't have a relationship, and you still can have wisdom because you have a relationship, but they always saying what you should have done, what you could have done, and how you caking, or I wouldn't do that for that girl. You giving her too much, man. You give a girl too much, she gonna take. Okay. But why is it you can't even have a girlfriend, or you can't have, and when you do have a girlfriend, it's always complaints or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to sideline, but it's different to get into it. Like you could talk about marriage, but until you get married, like I'm married, it's different. But when you like, oh yeah, you just do, yeah, it's different because you gotta apply. That's the basics of this is about. It's not a lecture. It's just a sharing of what I know. It's you have to apply to life things that you learn. That's how you know. See, first you're gonna try it out and experiment to see, and then once you know, then you can give applications to your life. And at first you don't know, but the thing about it. It could save you sometimes if you listen to the one who do know, and you see the fruits around him from his labor, and then you just reciprocate some of the things he do, but then add on to it. See, if I'm talking to somebody and I see they're a millionaire, a trillionaire, and they're mentoring me and say, brother, this is what you do. I'm gonna lay it down for you. You can add on some stuff. This you do. I'm not going to tell him what he should do when he's showing improvement around him, what he's done. all I have to do is reciprocate what he do and add on with my mind and make it come alive for me. Because, you know, things, you can't just copy people verbatim. Like, you can't copy somebody's energy. Your energy is different. That's why a teacher can tell a student, say, hey, you need to sit down. And the student may look at you like you crazy. Another teacher may say, hey, you need to sit down. And they sit down and listen to them because it's something in their understanding and their energy and who they are that makes that person do it and don't. And you done said the same thing. So what happens, everybody got to find their individuality and find out how they see life and communicate to life. Just like, you know, dancing. You could see one person do a dance and you like, man, that's tight. And everybody saying that's tight. And then you see another person do the same dance and it's not the same reflection. Because what? It's that person's interpretation.
600 feet, turn left onto Miller Avenue.
Sorry, y'all. It's their interpretation of life that's coming through their dance. So what you want to do is you always want to put your interpretation of life in what you are doing so it can get better, greater, and more poised. That way you'll find your true light and your true ray of energy. And you can free yourself from the bondage that we got from going to work, coming home every day, knowing you want to do something else, knowing that your energy is not where it should be because, you know, you're not able to do really what you want to do. So I just like to say thank you to everybody for listening. And, you know, just have faith, not faith like you say, I believe in somebody and don't do nothing. I mean faith to go out and act and do the things because, you know, I listen to a lot of people. They always say, yeah, I believe in you. I believe this and believe that. But you're not showing belief because you're not acting on anything. I mean, you know, I was listening to this brother today on a radio, and he said that he figured out. I don't know if this is for the video game people, but he was playing Mike Tyson Punch-Out, and he said he figured out the way that the algorithms of how they punch and fight. So he said, I can beat the game blindfolded. This one guy said he can do that. So he got all the way through it and got to Mike Tyson and couldn't do it. He said Mike Tyson is just something else. He don't really have no pattern. He switch it up on you. So this other brother heard about it, and then he started trying to do it. And then he got through all the different competitors, and we got to Mike Tyson. He was getting worked out. But then he said it was something in him that wanted to break the limitation and see how people added on to it. The one brother couldn't do it. He took it over. Then the other people in the game community came in and started adding hints. And you know what? That brother broke it open. He said, you know, it wasn't about the video game. I wanted to break that, you know, the possibility of breaking limitations. Now, look, this is what I want to leave people with. Instead of sitting around worried about playing all day, talking foolishness, cussing, and doing whatever you're going to do, get on something, learn something, and break it to the next level. It don't make a difference what color you are, what community you grow up. You know, it doesn't make a difference because once you lock your mind on something and you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, then you do, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's where I'm at. That's why I'm talking. That's why I'm talking about faith, because faith is the unknown reality. You know, it's the unknown place to say, hey, I can make a new spaceship. I can make a hovercraft that go underneath the ground and they can go through walls or something. You know, you see it in your mind, and then you got to evolve to create it. That's the creative part. But, you know, if you don't never get to that point, then you can't do it. So, but you got to act, you got to act, you got to act. And I'm going to give you just one more example. My sister-in-law used to make guacamole all the time.
GPS signal lost.
And she was good at it. And I said, you know, I used to ask her, how do you make it? And she told me, like, you know, you put this in there, you put that in. And I would make it, and it would be just so plain Jane. You know, it would be so plain Jane. It'd be lime, guacamole, cha-cha-cha. Mix it up, pepper or something. And over time, you know, I learned that if you keep doing it, man, I get down now. I'm telling you, my guacamole is Flame City. It's tight. And it got vibes in it. I be praying into it. I be putting Reiki energy into it. I be putting all kind of vibes in it. And it is colorful. It got a good taste. It's seasoned good. And I didn't know how to do that. I just did it through repetition. And repetition and just, when you keep doing something, you're going to learn something from what you're doing. It's the only thing about it is you have to want it. You got to commit to it. Now, see, I like food. I like cooking. And I like energy, putting energy, and I like taking care of people. So when I make guacamole, I give it to people. Come on over, eat. Come over, sit at my table. I make guacamole for my students at school because it's a way of feeding people energy, in which I like to do. I like to nurture. Not baby, nurture, build. Everybody needs food. Everybody needs love. Everybody needs, not babying. That's a difference. I gotta tell people that because they get that nurturing and man, oh yeah, you'll be all right. Nah, here you take this food so you can go on do what you gotta do. So I'm just gonna tell you, find something that you're interested in. It don't make a difference if you in PhD in school, if you never went to school. If you're interested in it, learn as much as you can about it, do as much as you can, and put it out there. That's your job. That's your career. What you love to do. I love energy. I love giving energy. I love nurturing. I can put that in anything I want to. I love building people and myself. I love adding on to life. Well, I can do that with my pictures if I want to. I can do that in my food if I want to. I can write a book. It's all in there. The physical is not in there, but that's behind me. Now, whatever you love to do, crack the limit. Crack the limitation on it and do it. Thank you, and I'm glad everybody's listened to me. I wish y'all well. Thanks a lot.